Alright, welcome in everybody. We're back for another match this morning. We've got this match. We've got this match this morning. It's the only match we have scheduled today. We have one more tomorrow between Moonrise and Castle. That'll be at 4 p.m. Eastern. I do need to start the prediction. Let me do that here. There we go. Welcome in, welcome in. Yeah, this should be a fun match. This is the first of two Losers Round 5 matches. We are getting through the Losers bracket. We're down to the final 8 players of the tournament, which I will read off here. In the winners bracket, we still have Cora's awaiting winners finals. Castle and Moonrise will play tomorrow. And then in the losers bracket, Furious and Nevu. Obviously, this is that match right now. And then we also have myself and Damage Dude, who will play at some point. And the winner of that will play Phantom. And those are our final 8 players of the tournament. So the winner of Castle Moonrise will go play Cora. The loser of that match will go play the winner of this match between Furious and Nevu in the losers bracket. So we only have just a few more rounds to go, really, in the losers bracket. Just about 3 more rounds till we get to losers finals. And then obviously we'll have winners finals, and then eventually that'll be it. Yeah, that's really cool to see the different variants of seeds in the tournament. Because, like, the top 4 seeds obviously did make it to the final 4 spots in the winners bracket. But after that point, it's pretty much been a toss-up. I mean, there's been a lot of runners who have improved their times significantly. There have been quite a few seeding upsets, I guess you can classify that as. Damage Dude is the 11th seed, but beat Teddy, who is the 5 seed, yesterday. And Damage Dude has just improved so much all throughout this tournament as well. Yeah, you love to see it. Always makes things interesting. Obviously, last year, I believe Moonrise was like a 9th seed, I think. I think that's the seeding, but made it to grand finals. So you never know. Trying to beat the pit yourself. Let's go. it's certainly the last month, because it has been officially 1 full month of this tournament. I think we started like June 21st. I think that's when I posted the bracket, or June 23rd, something like that. Which is crazy that we've gotten this far and it's just been a month. Like, we are down to just the final couple of matches here in July. Which is just, I mean, as the tournament organizer, that's incredible. This has gone better than I could have ever expected. So, shoutouts to all the runners this year's tournament for that. Alright, we're getting into chapter 1 here, just momentarily. Alright, so about to get the 3D flip ability from Howzit, or from, this is not Howzit, this is Bestovius, good god. Anyways, this is Bestovius, we're about to get the 3D flip ability. And these runners are going to pick up 3 items in this house. I'm sure a Shell Shock, a Shroom Shake, and a Fire Burst. Which are all pretty important. The Fire Burst is important for Enter 2. We have to cook that to wake up Peach. Shell Shock, very useful in Room 89, depending on the situation. So you're going to see most runners are going to use the Shell Shock in that room. And then the Shroom Shake's just 10 HP. It's great to have. Great to always take as many heals as possible into the pit. Fast Flower for Furus. Just gonna do the grind normally. And then we'll get a very nice speed boost on the run to the door. Okay, that was 26.5 total for Furus after the Fast Flower. It looked like Nevu might have fell off there as well, 27.4. Well, now 28.4. Yeah, it's a little lower than you'd like to be for both these runners, but they're going to be alright. They're, just by picking up a couple items throughout the pre-pit segment, we'll be able to catch up on that a good amount, and really it's just getting to, ideally you want 60k by 19, you absolutely need it by room 25. Yeah, that is true. I do believe we're going to be seeing GBS from both these runners. I think, I assume Damage Dude does GBS as well. Oh, prediction's about to end, by the way. I keep forgetting to remind about that, but okay, it's gone. My bad. Anyways, I think Damage Dude, I didn't watch the match yesterday. I wasn't home, but I think Damage Dude also does GBS, so I think everybody left in the tournament we'll be doing GBS. Oh, okay, I see, yeah. Yeah, that's been a theme for quite a few runs throughout this tournament. GBS is just a, it can just bleed time away in the early game. It's definitely not easy trick by any means. You're just gonna grab the mushroom there. And here we go. So if you haven't seen GBS before, Green Bridge Skip has had multiple different iterations over the years, but ultimately this trick is utilized to skip the rest of 1-2, which includes going to find Thoreau, talking to Watch It, talking to Green, lowering the other bridge. Saves 2.5 minutes if done really well. Furus got the movement over. Nevu's going for Light Room. So there's two different versions of this trick. Furus is doing the Dark Room version, as you can see, because you can't really see anything. There is a version called Light Room GBS, which Nevu will be doing, which involves hitting the save block that's next to How's It Shop. You'll see Nevu go the other direction. Furus does make it on the background. And one final jump over, and that will do it. So that's a good GBS. So the version that Furus did is Dark Room GBS. You can go left and jump over the doors in Yold Town. That's really the main thing to avoid, is that door geometry. And then once you get to the other side, it's just lining up in the correct spot and holding up for one frame while falling at the specific time with Mario. I think you have about like 3 or 4 frames to do the 1 frame trick. So it's a 3 or 4 frame window, but ultimately it is a 1 frame trick. You have to hold up for 1 frame. Nevu gets it first try here. Obviously Lightroom is nice because you can actually see what things look like to an extent. Very nicely done from Nevu. Both these runners had really solid GBS. So there we go. And Furious has done the 1-3 grind. I believe went and killed one of the bald clefs to the right, just to get a couple extra points. Gonna go for the 3D jump as well. Very nicely done. You can take 3D damage while jumping and holding a squig, and you'll actually be able to jump off that squig if you time it right. And that's slightly faster than flipping back to 2D and waiting for the projectile. Saves a couple seconds there. Chunks is the first mini-boss. Really the only, I would say, mini-boss that we actually fight in this run. As you can see, just sticking to the right wall here is the best strat for Chunks. So there we go. These runners are still pretty close together. Really just one Chunks fight apart. Furious in the next room going for Ice Cherble Skip. By getting hit after grabbing this Ice Cherble, we can jump off it at the height of its floating animation. We can make it up to the door there. Very nice fight from Nevu. And a ton of points as well. The good thing about not falling off of Chunks, if you're able to, is that you will get a decent amount of points, amount of extra points, compared to accidentally falling off. We can do the stylish moves by shaking our Wii Remote. This is very nice. Furious also got first try Blue Pedestal Skip, very nicely done. For Blue Pedestal Skip, normally you have to press 1 and minus on the final blue pedestal platform. Very nice ICS from Nevu. However, I believe Nevu will go for this as well. We can avoid having to watch that cutscene. There's a small ledge on both sides of this Fractale platform. If we land on it and continue to hold forward while being in the correct position, we'll just be able to flip back to 2D right under the star block, and there we go. That is the level. Really good 1-3 for both these runners. I'd say just about like 45 seconds is the difference, which for Pippercent is still anybody's match. Fierce used Thoreau before opening that lock there. If you ever do that for locked doors, you'll save a bit of time, because Thoreau won't follow you back into the door. He's currently in use. It's a good time save there. Fierce also doing key early in this room. There's 2 versions of this trick. This is the older version. This is the fastest version if you get it first try. Just an out-of-bounds clip, some 3D movement, out of bounds. Fierce also waiting for that squig after killing it. That squig can sometimes drop some pretty useful items, including an Ice Storm, which is one of the most useful items for Pit. So, honestly, not a bad call. Waiting for it. First try clip for Nevu. Just gonna jump into this wall while staying out of bounds. And there we go. That was a perfect key early there. Very nicely done. Alright, and the rest of 1-4 till we get to the final room. The rest of 1-4 is just going to be entering the room, completing whatever puzzle's there, grabbing whatever key we need, or doing whatever. It's very, very easy stuff, thankfully. 1-4 is pretty simple. Alright, so both runners. Starting the Fractal cutscene, we're going to see this boss fight twice, pretty much. There is a slightly more difficult version at the end of the pit, and by more difficult, I mean you could just take a higher amount of damage. The fight itself is relatively similar, outside of... we will be seeing different strats on both fights. But this is really the only, like, chapter boss that we actually fight in this run. Alright, so we need to hit the antenna 3 times before Fractal will start to spin. And then Fierce gonna grab an extra Frackle here. Gonna line up at a very specific point. Flip 2 times, jump to the right, and there we go. So that's the 3D Fractal strat. We can actually make it back up to the antenna this way. Skips having to wait for more Frackles to spawn. If we get it twice, saves a good amount of time. Very nice. Great job there from Fierce. Loser of this match has to give me $5, by the way. Nevu going for the lineup. Does get it. Alright, so after that final cutscene, we have the second pure heart of the game. We will be going into Chapter 2, just the very first level, to get our next pixel, which is Boomer. Boomer is just an incredibly useful pixel for Pip%. Throw is as well, honestly. Throw's also pretty useful. So we have, I don't know how many times I've actually mentioned this on the stream before. But we do have like 3 different subcategories for Pip%. The one that we've done for this tournament, this is what we've, kind of the category we've done for years, like a long time. Since 2020, we've been doing this tournament, but this is Pip% Classic. This is like easily the most accessible version. Actually, I'd say probably the most accessible category for anyone to start running this game. But basically the route is just playing up to getting Boomer and then going to the pit. Boomer, as I mentioned, just incredibly useful. There's a lot of different enemies in the pit that can be easily defeated with Boomer, and without Boomer they're a lot more difficult. However, there are 2 other faster ways to beat the pit, which is Boomerless and Pixelless. And as you can probably guess, Boomerless is just only getting Throw, then going to the pit. And then Pixelless is no pixels whatsoever, which is very difficult. So the Boomerless category is actually to the point where, as long as you take precautions, it is like every room can be completed in some way. You do need quite a few different items for that version of Pip%, but there's really only a handful of rooms that you have to worry about. Throw is also very useful for like clipping enemies out of bounds, and by doing that we can get a despawn key to show up in certain situations, like if we're dealing with Schlurps or Schlorps or any enemy that needs to be killed with Boomer. We can just despawn all those enemies that way. And then Pixelless, on the other hand, is just, to my knowledge, Pixelless still has some points where no matter what, you can just get soft-locked. It's just really difficult. But if you're able to complete it, it is still faster than this version of Classic Pit. Just because the pre-pit stuff ends so early. Pixelless no more, yeah, true. Is it technically pixelless if you get a pixel at the end of the run? Interesting hypothetical questions. Alright, so Fierce Chapter 1 time was 25:40. Nevu got a 26:19, I believe, so about 40 seconds. Actually, 39 seconds apart between both these runners, which is... Obviously, when it comes to pit percent, those timings can fluctuate drastically. Pit is very RNG based, that's for sure. Exactly, yeah. Nothing that Pit RNG can't influence by any means. So as you saw Furious do here, Nevu's about to do it. Going to Saffron and cooking that Fire Burst that we picked up in Bestovius' house. And by doing that, we can make the spicy soup. Before we even start this cutscene here, finding out that the girl that fell from the sky is actually Peach. Merlin's about to tell us to go make the spicy soup, but we already have it, so saves a good amount of time there. Yeah, I think that's why the split's called Pixels No More.
Yes. Hmm.
An alternate reality where we have to take the 10 to 15 seconds to go to the Flipside shop. Or, no, 1-2 shop, rather. And get a Fire Burst, because Bestovius' house doesn't have one, yeah. It's a good thing they chose to put a Fire Burst in Bestovius' house. Piccolo percent. Now that's a category name I haven't heard in a very long time. Alright. Now into 2-1. If you're just gonna take the extra points here, it's a good call. At 51, I think Fierce will be good to go for the pit. So once again, we won't be completing this level. We're just going to go get Boomer and then immediately return Pipe. It is possible to skip Boomer in this level. Boomer skip is done in any percent. It requires the use of the Shell Shock. And to get Boomer into our party, we have to go finish out the level, enter 2-2, and then return Pipe. Ultimately, that plus using our Shell Shock is just a little slower. So we're gonna see the runners just go talk to Boomer normally. Fierce did another Thoreau lock strat there. Gonna see Pal Pills. Okay, I think going for BSE, just using the Pal Pills. This is honestly a very useful item to pick up in this room. I got pushed there from one of the Paragoombas. Fresh veggie drop for Nevu there. So, in order to do this trick, we're changing our Z position while in 2D. It's our 3D position, we're changing it while in 2D. Pushing ourselves to the back wall. And we can actually clip out of bounds by getting to the very right corner of this room. Nevu doing Paragoomba jump. Gonna finish out this room with the old method. That was really nicely done there for Fierce. Our Z position can change if we... So we can take damage, like taking damage fine. However, we can't get pushed while, like, during our invincibility frames. So it's... can be a little tricky. We also can't really turn around constantly. That might also change the position that we need. Yeah, it was really nicely done there for Fierce. If we got a Turtley Leaf drop, not gonna worry about it. Turtley Leaf will decrease the amount of damage that we take by half. Could be useful for a couple high damage rooms, but unfortunately the Turtley Leaf does not last very long at all. I think it's like the same amount of length as a hot sauce. Alright, Fierce on the way to the pit. And Nevu not too far behind, just wrapping up the Boomer cutscene here. So gonna do the Boomer throw strat. Gets first try very nicely done. Just at the height of our jump, we could toss Boomer onto that ledge. Hit the switch, open the pit, and here we go. First key to start, very nicely done. 2 first keys in a row. Let's go. Alright. So a 2-room difference officially for these runners. Obviously the first couple rooms here have some very simplistic enemies. We're gonna see a lot of squigs, squiglets, goombas, koopas, sproings. Sproings, you'll potentially see these runners do this strat that Fierce is doing. Just by jumping on the Sproings twice, we can get a little bit of extra points by splitting them into 3. The points are looking really good for both these runners, so I don't think they'll have to worry about anything. But if you've never seen Pit Percent before, there are a ton of different RNG elements that we're going to be having to deal with. So, there are a couple consistent things. Each room that you enter will have the same layout. It will have the same number of enemies, same type of enemies. Oh my goodness, the Wii Remote died. Okay, I think we're fine. We might be having a Wii Remote batteries moment, which is just at the worst time imaginable. Okay, I think we're fine for now. But yeah, those are the consistent things in the pit. Outside of that, everything else is random. Obviously, which enemy has the key is random, so we're going to be just killing all the enemies as quickly as we possibly can, finding the key, and then leaving. Our door spawns are random. They are linked in pairs, so based on where you enter a room, your entry door can tell you where your exit door is going to be. There are a lot of different combinations, so it's tough to memorize for the early pit. There are quite a few rooms later in the pit that can be memorized, though. And then enemy locations are also random, so just, you know, dealing with a ultimate amount of RNG. Fierce done with the first 10 rooms, Nevu going at a 9. Very nice key there. If you're still utilizing the Thoreau strats, we did have there was a Wii Remote moment. I think Manta was having a couple Wiimote moments in this tournament, a couple matches, but it wasn't because of low batteries. It was like the batteries weren't staying in place on the Wii Remote, so the Wii Remote kept dying, like just turning off, which is really unfortunate. Okay, Shroom Shake drop there for Fierce is another 10 HP heal, which is nice to have. I believe Nevu still only has, actually no, Nevu has 2 heals. Nevu has the Shroom Shake and the Fresh Veggie, so both these runners are looking pretty good on heals for the early pit. Both these runners on 2 different Schlurp rooms. Schlurps, we have to feed Boomer to them. Nevu got a POW block. We have to pretty much feed them Boomer for them to die. Unless we clip them out of bounds, but... The POW block is honestly a pretty useful item, particularly for 86. That's really the one room that I know it could be useful on the Koopa Trolls. It's a little bit of a longer animation, but... Okay, 2 POW blocks. I don't... Nevu will pick that up. I genuinely don't know where else to use another POW block. Could be useful. It... Like I said, it has a longer animation, but I think it does, like... does a really good amount of damage if you activate it all the way. So room 18, you see Buzzy Beetles on Fierce's screen. Buzzy Beetles are one of the only shell types that won't despawn off screen, so if you're kicking a Koopa shell of any sort, and it goes too far off the screen, or you flip to 3D, and it's way out of view, it will despawn. However, Buzzy Beetles will not. Fierce unfortunately taking a good amount of damage to that Koopa Troll, unfortunately. Just trying to get through to this door. Did get the key. So, but Buzzy Beetles can be nice. There is a room later in the pit, like 51, that can be like a potential grind spot to get to 120k level up. Which both these runners did get 60k. It is important to get 60k before room 19, ideally. That was a Fire Burst drop for Nevu, and I think a first key for Furious. I think that's what just happened. And Nevu doesn't have to worry about Koopa Troll either. Alright, so just one room apart currently. Nevu did get a Fire Burst drop, which is very useful for this room, as you can see. There are 6 enemies in this room. Just gonna get as many on screen as possible. Did not get the key, but only has 2 left. There it is. This room that Furious is in, room 26, easily one of the more annoying layouts in all of the pit. It's just like a really, really closed off room. It's just... the walls are really bad, so you'll end up having to take the pipe quite a bit. So Nevu done with 25. 25 is another room that Chain Chomp, only enemy in that room. That's another one that we have to be at 60k at to be able to do damage with Boomer. There are other ways to avoid a soft lock there. We could use our Shell Shock if need be. And then if the Chain Chomp is on the bottom floor, we can actually clip it out of bounds. Nevu has the key, just looking for the door. I think it's up top. There it is. So 29 for Furious, 27 for Nevu. I think the key is on this side as well. Okay, that's a good 29 there. 29 can be really annoying. As you can see, the other enemy was at the one part of the room we have to take the pipe to get to. so won't have to worry about that. 31 for Furious. Another Tyloid room. The Tyloid rooms will continue to get worse just throughout the pit. They just take up more and more time. Nevu got another heal. That's a cake mix. I believe it's only about like a 5 HP heal, 3 HP, something like that. So, not too useful, but still nice to pick up as many heals as you could possibly get. So both these runners are getting a little low. A little low on HP. This is a nice spawn for Nevu if this has the key. It does not, unfortunately. Okay. Yeah, that is the unfortunate part about this room. But it was really well played there for Nevu. So Furious down to 4 HP. The next level up is at the 90k mark. Both runners are getting closer to. This is the first Ninja room here for Furious. Does get the key. Just gonna flick to 3D. Leave this room. Ninjas are a vastly annoying enemy. It's a pretty quick key here for Nevu. We'll do a room check on both these runners momentarily. This should be close to the end of the 30s here for Furious. I believe going into 39. Nevu... Both runners are on 4 HP currently. Nevu is very close to the 90k level up. Furious is as well. 36 here for Nevu. Does get that level up. Furious will probably get it soon. However, the next room is pretty dangerous. We'll be taking 3 damage if you get hit by a Clubba in this next room. Just gonna look to turn this guy around. Very nicely done. Gonna do the same with this guy. And that'll do it. Very well played there for Furious. If you hit those guys with Boomer and you're standing far enough away from them, they will consistently turn around. And that's a good way to, you want to get them facing away from you if possible, that way you can damage them very quickly by duck jumping underneath. Or on top of them, I guess. So Nevu going into 39. This should be 43, I believe, for Furious. Yeah, 43. Koopa Strikers. Still looking for the key. Unfortunately, it is top right. Very well played there from Furious. If you kick a Koopa Striker into a different shell, it will die immediately, regardless of the amount of damage you've done to it. So it's a really nice way of dealing with those guys. It's a good key in this room for Furious. Nevu's starting the 40s as well. A pretty decent key for 41. Both these runners. 41 can sometimes take quite a while. The clubber rooms will only get more difficult as the game goes on. First key for Nevu there. If you had to press the B button to switch pixels, that would be insane. The tech would go absolutely crazy. Nevu got a Shroom Shake as well, so looking very good on heals. I don't think either runner has used a heal yet, so it's a great sign. $47, Furious, first key. Very quick room. Those poison enemies will drop an item 100% of the time, as long as they don't have the key. It's a good point grind there for Nevu. But sometimes you can get a really useful heal item out of them. Sometimes they can drop a catch card, a long last shake, dried shroom. Those aren't the most useful heals, but Shroom Shake or a Peachy Peach, those are always nice to have. Hello? Okay. Furious does get the key there on 48. That was another Clubber room. Clubbas and Magic Koopas. First key 49. This has honestly been a really good 40s for Furious. So 51, this is a potential point grind room. Just by kicking this Buzzy Beetle shell, again, it doesn't despawn off screen. But you can get a ton of points. Usually by this point of the pit, you would be looking for the 120k level up. Both runners are looking for that currently. Oh my gosh, down to 1. Okay, Nevu definitely gonna have to heal here. Does have plenty. I think it's another first key there for Fierce. Fierce having a lot of really nice keys. Even key or odd key? Wow, that's a really good key for Fierce there. Once again, another Clubber Room. I think that was like first or second key. Passed by a lot of enemies there, didn't have to worry about. Nevu does get the 120k level up, same with Fierce, so both runners are set on points. I believe this is 56 and 52, I think. Fierce doesn't get the key here. There's one Cursia in this room, and the rest of her are Dark Boos. Nevu just gonna focus on the Spanias in this room. Fierce with a nice key here. Pretty much wrapping up the 50s. Obviously, very difficult room coming up here. Doesn't have to worry about anything, though, because he gets a first key in this room. That is the Amazy Daisy room. Gonna check Flim. Couple nice items. Ice Storm there. Gonna get that. Could also potentially get the Mighty Tonic. Might be going for that. Yeah, and that might set Fierce up on items for the rest of the run. Those are two really nice items to get from Flim. It's a good key there. If you use Boomer while in range of those boomboxers, you will stun them. You won't take any damage from them if they're stunned. You can walk into them, jump over them, do whatever. Won't have to worry about it. $63 for Fierce, another Clubber Room, 57 for Nevu. This Clubber Room can be quite annoying. The Boomerang Bros will do 3 damage with their projectile, 2 damage to body damage. Nevu is dealing with so many projectiles currently. Does get a Daisy Teardrop. I think Nevu still has a good amount of heals. Might have to use one soon, depending on how things go. The next level up for both these runners will be at 160k. Oh, a Hot Sauce for Nevu. Oh my goodness. Well, that's a great drop to get for 86, potentially. Nevu also has the POW block for 86. I'm interested as to what the strategy will be. I don't think Nevu has an item for 98, so could potentially save the Hot Sauce. Also did Super Boomer there, technically. I just saw that. Yeah, Hot Sauce could be used in 98. Yeah, I know Fierce has an item. I don't think Nevu does. Nevu will still definitely be looking for an item, but just in case, Hot Sauce will at least be useful for maybe one or two of the red chomps. So 68 and 64, still about a 4-room difference here. Nevu is down to 4 HP. This room can be very annoying. These enemies love to just stick to the ceiling sometimes. Gonna have 2 more going to the right side of the room. 69 for Furus. This room is insane. Somehow dodging every shell in this room, though. Very well played. Nevu gonna heal. Use the fresh veggie there. Alright, so into the 70s for Furus. Once we get into the 70s, I think things really start to get crazy with Pit. The enemies just get vastly more annoying to deal with. '73. This is a great room for Super Boomer. Unfortunately did not get it, but thankfully did get the key because it was right there. Another first key, wow. Furus has gotten some really awesome first key rooms in this pit. Just playing really, really efficiently well. Oh my goodness, the dodge is crazy. Another first key in the Rough Puff room. Holy, okay. This run is looking pretty good. Furus is technically ahead of PB, I believe. I'll keep track of the splits. Both runners got the 160k level up. Nevu entering 71 here momentarily. And then 78 for Furus. Furus with a great, truly great 70 split so far. This has been really good. Had a lot of really nice rooms. Furus does get the key. Unfortunately, we'll have to walk all the way around. You can enter the lock while in 3D from below if you take damage and jump into it at the right time. It's kind of similar to the 3D chest strats in 4-4. However, the 3D meter just ran a little too long there for Furious. It's a good key to start the 80s. 80s are just a... they're a lot to deal with. Yeah, Nevu did a Super Boomer there. There's a triple flip Super Boomer strat. Seems to be pretty consistent for a couple runners. This is an unfortunate last key here for Nevu. In 75. Furious into 84. This is where the rooms start to get quite difficult. Oh, was trying to... yeah, there we go. Gonna look for that Spanny key. Unfortunately, will not get it. Two more enemies left. These Schlurps, you have to feed Boomer to them twice. Take a long time. Furious could opt to despawn this last one, but either way, it's just an unfortunate last key. Furious did get poisoned, however, did just get a heal drop, so could probably see that used momentarily. Did also get the level up, so. And the key. There we go. Alright, so this will be the point where Furious uses the Mighty Tonic on room 86. Mighty Tonic will be able to one-hit these enemies. Gonna go for Super Boomer. Does get it. Very nicely done. Just wiped out an entire floor of enemies there. Unfortunately, still does not have the key, but this will last throughout the entire of the room. These Koopa Trolls typically take 3 hits with Boomer to kill. It's unfortunate last key, but still, that went much faster than without using the tonic. Alright, so 83 for Nevu, 87 for Furious. Still does have the tonic here momentarily. It will run out soon. But either way, gonna be doing pretty much one hit to every enemy in this room. There are 2 enemies in 3D here. There's one more somewhere. I hate these enemies so much. There's the key. Alright, 84 for Nevu. Mystery box. I think that is it on the Spanny attempts, unfortunately. Oh, there's the key. $88. It's another ninja room. Gets very crazy. Nevu is also poisoned. Just gonna use the cake mix there. Fierce gets the key out of 88. Nevu going into 86. Nevu has caught up a good bit here. So Nevu... There are quite a different amount of ways this room could be played. Nevu does have 2 POW blocks and a hot sauce, which we might see used. Yeah, we're gonna see a POW block used here. So this will wipe out, pretty sure wipe out the Koopa Trolls. Oh, it also is getting that enemy on the top left there, which is very nice. Oh, Thunder Rage drop, very nice. And then, just gonna use the last one here. Wants to save the hot sauce for later. So Furious is on 91. This is just like an absolutely unfortunate situation to be in. Okay, a Thunder Rage drop. Alright, 92. So 92 and 88 for both these runners. 2 separate ninja rooms. Oh my god, this guy. Furious does get the key. Nevu's still looking for the 88 key. There it is. 93, another very annoying room. Furious gonna be out of 93. Nevu does get the key here. 89. Gonna be in a 91. Furious down to 6 HP. There are some pretty dangerous rooms ahead. 6 HP is not the best amount of health to be at. Yeah, just gonna use a heal. Just play it safe. 92 for Nevu. Nevu down to 5 HP. Is close to the 250k level up. Just gonna heal to be safe. I think that's a first key, 95. Furious, that's a great room. That is a phenomenal key in this room. $96, another first key. There are only 4 enemies in this room, but still very nice to see a first key. $97. $98. Gonna use the Thunder Rage. Does not get the key, but thankfully does have a backup item. $99, final room. Just a ton of Magiblots. And there's the key. Furious will be out. Nevu in 94. So unfortunately Furious, well, actually, I don't know what PB Furious has uploaded. to speedrun.com. They were comparing against a 122.22. I don't know if that's accurate to whatever's on SRC, but this should be honestly a 123, I think, of some sort. Never does get the 95 key. Currently uploaded PB. Okay, 126. Well, this will definitely beat that. It won't be a splits PB. Fierce might have a 122 according to splits, but this is a very good time regardless. Just gonna use that final fire burst here. Get a free 5 hits. Gonna switch to Peach. Nevu with the Ice Storm on 98. Gets first try. Doesn't have to use the hot sauce. Alright, one final set of hits here for Fierce, and that'll do it. And there it is. GG's. And there we go, we have Dashel. And we will sprint to the pipe, and that will do it. So Fierce, moving on to the next round. 123.19 officially, according to Fierce's splits. Very nice time to get. Very nicely done. That does beat, that beats Fierce's, SRC PB. I don't know if it is actually their PB. No, but this looks to be potentially, it'll be very close to a potential 125. Might be a 126 for Nevu. Might be going for the new strat here. Unfortunately, didn't get it there. So GG's to Fierce. Fierce will be moving on. Unfortunately, this is the end of the road for Nevu. Just one more set of hits here for Nevu, and that'll do it. So Fierce will move into the losers round 6 spot. And tomorrow, Castle and Moonrise will play. The winner will play Korra, and the loser will play Fierce. And that is how the bracket is looking currently. GG's, Nevu. Who won yesterday? Damage Dude won. Damage Dude will be playing myself at some point. We will get that match scheduled as soon as we can. And then the winner of that match will play Phantom. And then that's pretty much it. So 7, down to our final 7 competitors at the tournament. Oh, just barely missed the 125. There's a 126 flat there on Nevu's timer. But obviously, one more thing left to do before we go. Thank you all for watching this morning. This is our this is our only match today. Our next match scheduled, there's only one currently scheduled. It'll be tomorrow at 4 p.m. Eastern, Moonrise versus Castle. Alright, let's see it. Oh. Space food. Nice. Yeah, we did get a mystery box drop. No, I don't think we've gotten a true miracle dinner yet. I know Ghost is the only one that's gotten one. So, we'll see if a runner can get miracle dinner at some point. But yeah, that's going to do it for us. So once again, we're done for today. We'll be back tomorrow, 4 p.m. Eastern, Moonrise versus Castle. That'll be the other winners semifinals match. And yeah, we are getting down to the final matches of the tournament. So we will see you all then. I'm going to raid Owen. I don't know if Owen is playing SPM or not. It doesn't matter. I'll raid Owen. Alright. You guys have a great rest of your day, rest of your evening, wherever you are. And we'll see you next time. Peace.